Today is June 8th, the 13th day of growing protests all over the United States and the world against the police brutality shown very clearly on videotape in the case of George Floyd. And these protests are highly unusual because they become international, because the people now strongly feel the injustice and helplessness, not only with the pandemic and the coronavirus, but with the police who have been murdering white people and mostly black people with impunity. Today's poem seems to address that helplessness, even though it was written over 100 years ago, 1875. The passion and defiance of this poet speaks to those who feel helpless in a very dark world. The name of the poet is W.E. Henley, William Ernest Henley, whose name probably doesn't mean anything to most people because of the fact that he wrote one great poem. And that poem is recognized by most people, but not by the masses the way Shakespeare is. The poem is called Invictus, which means unconquerable, which he wrote at the age of 17 after having had a leg amputated. And this is what he said. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the happenings of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Well, this poem seems to address what we all need, which is to take control of our lives and not give in to the helpless feeling that occurs when we see how cruel and unjust the world is. The philosophy of this poet is to have courage, especially when you're in a state of adversity that couldn't be worse. When he says, under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed, the chance he speaks of is any kind of happening which is unjust or tragic in life, which he feels can be dealt with if one takes control and has the courage to assume that he is a master of his fate and captain of his soul.